Hey, it's Dr. Schmidt. So I just had a patient who had a great success. Let me share this with you. I'm going to talk about products that helped her out. So she had mercury fillings incorrectly taken out of her mouth by a dentist. And you got to watch out for dentists because they do a lot of harm with mercury. It's a very toxic substance. And maybe 30% or more of dentists are not using mercury now. But you still have quite a number that are. So you put mercury in your mouth, it's a bad thing. You get it taken out, it's a bad thing too because the mercury vapors can be released during the process in excess, and you breathe it in, you swallow it in. You can get acute mercury toxicity from removing mercury fillings, unless the dentist is doing it correctly. So this woman had mercury fillings taken out, and she was doing okay after that. What happened, though, interestingly, was a while later, she got 2 CAT scans in 3 days, and then after that, her legs hurt, her health crashed. Now, the CAT scans did not involve dye. She did not have dye injected into her blood. She just had the radiation from the CAT scans. So from that point forward, she sat in her lazy boy chair in her house, and her legs hurt. She couldn't walk very much. She couldn't sleep in her own bed, and she sat in that chair for a year. She sat in it during the day and she slept in it during the night, and that was her life. So she found me on my YouTube channel, and she had done fasting. She had done juice cleansing. She had done dry fasting, meaning no food, no water, to try to detox, and she had taken a bunch of supplements. And so it wasn't like she was trying to, she wasn't being lazy about it. She was actually trying to fix her condition. So she called me up, and I put her on a detox program. And you've heard, I did a video about this called Detox Your Brain. And it's 1 month. I'm going to show you right now. This is the prep phase. This is the first month. People feel better. You're preparing the body for detoxing. People feel better on that first month. And then you start the second month. Now you're detoxing. And it's called the body phase. And people may feel worse on this because now you're detoxing. And when I did this for the first month, I had the black mold coming out. I did it 5 days in a row. I had to stop it for 2 days to let my body catch up with all the toxins that were coming out of the tissue into the blood, circulating around in the blood before the liver got rid of it. Liver and kidneys, primarily liver. And then the brain phase is the last month. And you can do the body phase for 3 months in a row. I have people doing that because they get better and better every single week for 2 months, 3 months. Then you go to the brain phase, and that includes a product here called Detox. That's a liquid. So, and all the instructions are right on the side, right there. It's easy to do. The complexity is in the pills. So she, on the second week of her body phase, her leg pain was gone. It was starting to go away, but on the second week, gone. So now she's up and about. She's got 7 acres. She's gardening. She's sleeping in her own bed. It got rid of that pain. Now the pain in her legs, remember, was probably more the mercury here, but the mercury was activated from the CT machine, the CT scans. So radiation is a problem, and I used to do more activism about it. I was politically active about it locally here regarding smart meters, and I carry some products that can help people get over the negative effects of radiation, Wi-Fi, smart meters. But now we have 5G, so it's even more important that I talk about it and other people talk about it. So, I've had this machine here, this device, for, I don't know if it's been 10 years yet, but you turn it on and you can see I got radiation going on inside this office, and I do have Wi-Fi. There are cell phones in here. And here's another one. This is called the Trifield Meter. It doesn't make any noise, but you can turn it on. You can see that dial moving back and forth. And so there's a lot of these on the market. And so there's devices. I have some around here where I sit. And these devices come from a company called Safe Space, and their website is safespaceprotection.com. And I've been selling these for, I think, 8 years. And you would not believe the stories that I have. So let me go through some of these devices, and I'll share some successes with you. This first one's called the Geo Resonator. And actually there's 4 of them, and you bury them in your yard. So you 4 corners of your yard, And the point of these products from SafeSpace, protection.com, is that it makes the air smooth as silk. It cleans the air of dirty electricity. So you have wiring in the walls back here that's 60 hertz. That's a big wave of electromagnetic frequency. 60 hertz is big. And the cell phone radiation is a microwave. It's very small. It's just like the microwave that heats up your food. It's in the same bandwidth, very small. And that little microwave rides on the big 60 hertz from the wall. That's called dirty electricity. So, and there's tons of research showing its negative effects on the human body. And I have a video that I made a long time ago. It went viral. If I find it, I'll put it right here, right now. And so these clean up the dirty electricity. And I'll show you other ones too. I'll get to those in a second. But this one's for the yard. So I had a patient buy this, and I did the muscle testing procedure that we do. And I found out that this person's daughter would benefit from this. And I told the mom, how to use it. You keep it in there's little plastic bags in here. And you keep these devices in the bags and you bury them in the four corners of your yard. A week later, the mom comes back and I said, so what happened? How's it going? And she said, well, the house stopped shaking. And I was like, what does that mean? She said, well, if you're standing or sitting on the second floor, you can feel the house shaking. And the house is new. It's like 6 years old. And she buried these in the yard, and then now the house is not shaking anymore. So that's phenomenal. And what that means is that the house was built on what's called ley lines. So there's these electromagnetic circuits, or lines, I should say, lines that go all the way around the earth. And there's 3 different kinds. One of them is called the Benker lines. I forgot the other 2. But if those lines cross, that's at a point where maybe that house would be shaking if they put the house where those lines are crossing. So there's the Geo Resonator. Now this next one is called the SafeSpace 2. And I'll put a picture right here. So this product, you can actually wear it if you want. You can put it in your pocket. And or have it near you, like maybe on your keychain for your car, so you can always have it like when you're driving. And I have a guy that he was using this, and here's his story. He was a nuclear technician on a submarine for the Navy, and so he was exposed to radiation on a regular basis for a few years. When he retired, he became an electrician. So now he's exposed to radiation, a different form, but it's still radiation. Now remember, with the nuclear radiation, it's not just the wavelength, it's also a particle. So what happened was he put this in the same pocket, like let's say it's the right pocket in his pants, and he wore it every day. And he told me he felt better and better and better as the weeks and months went on. And then he went to the airport, and he went through the screening device, the screening machine. It's the backscatter one where you stand like this, you put your hands up, and it rotates around. And he came out, and it showed that he had metal in his pocket. Well, the truth is, he didn't have anything in his pocket. He had taken that SafeSpace 2 device out, and he put it in a little bowl, and he sent it through the X-ray machine. So his pockets were empty. But the backscatter machine showed he had something metal in his pocket. So the TSA got out their wand looking for metal, the metal detector, and they're going up and down, and they can't find any metal on him. And he pulls his pockets out, and he's like, yeah, I don't have any metal anywhere. So the point here is that little SafeSpace product was absorbing all the energy, all the EMFs and radiation that his body had stored for all those years, and that he was gathering at his work as being an electrician. His body was toxic with EMFs and other radiations. And the SafeSpace product took it from his body and collected it, and in his pocket it was collecting the EMFs. And so when he took that out of his pocket, the radiation was there. Do you see what I'm saying? It was holding it. And so it was working, and it was shown by through this experiment, like he was feeling better, and it showed up as collecting his EMFs in his pocket, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to move on. There's other products too. Here's the Vitae Plex. This product is for people who are super sensitive, and they walk into Best Buy with all the electronics, and they have a hard time there. And they have sensitivities sometimes wherever they go. It's worse in a car, by the way, too. If you have some of these cars now are Wi-Fi hotspots, and of course some of them are battery powered, like the Tesla or the Prius has a big battery in it. And then you got the steel belted radials tires that are spinning, and the car itself is a tube. So if you take metal and you spin it, or you take a coil, you wrap a coil around a magnet and you spin that coil around the magnet, that's how you make electricity. That's what Tesla figured out. And that's why hydroelectric dams, the water is pouring through the dam and it's spinning a coil around magnets. And then that's the creation of electricity. So cars, if there's electricity in the car, it just is amplified by the tires spinning, and then plus the car is a metal tube, and it's being amplified. Same thing in an airplane. So an airplane is a metal tube with all these wires going back and forth like this, and it's a sort of hotspot, if you will, for radiation, whether it's electromagnetic or radio frequencies. So you can take that Safe Space 2 with you on the plane or in the car. Now, I wore the Vitae Plex pendant for about 3 months. At the same time, I had Safe Space 2 in my pocket. After 3 months, I was going like this. And I realized, okay, I'm going to take this Vitae Plex off. And I set that aside. I haven't worn it since because it worked. It was done. Then the Safe Space 2 did the same effect on me. I just felt really tense one day. And I knew immediately, okay, I'm done with Safe Space 2. So I took it out of my pocket. I have not worn these devices ever since. Now I have one in my bedroom. I have one in my bag when I go on a plane. And but I know that it works. I feel it working. I have many, many patients. I've sold hundreds of these devices over the last 8 years. I have all kinds of stories about them working. So I have this product here. It's called Radiant Room. So I had a patient buy this. She wasn't sleeping very well in her bed. I said, well, put this underneath your bed. And this is back when the smart meters were being turned on and installed around my area. And after a month, she comes back. She said it wasn't working. I said, okay, well, go get it. Next time you come back, just bring it back. I'll buy it back from you at the same price. So she went to get it under her bed and realized it was upside down. So she flipped it over the right way. And after that, she's been sleeping. And so it was cleaning up the space under her, in her bedroom. This is Radiant Room. It's for a room. So it's another great device that they have. Okay, now here's a vehicle adapter. And you can plug this in to the cigarette lighter part of your car. And so this cleans up the space in your vehicle. And you can actually plug in USBs right there to charge your phone or charge whatever right there. So it serves two purposes. And then really the most important thing, I know the owner of this company, and she explained this to me. The most important thing that she's made is for the house. So you plug it in to any wall socket in the house, and it cleans up the space of the house, and it covers one circuit board. So if you are in an office and there's multiple circuit boards, you need multiple of these for the house, or for the wiring inside the walls. So it cleans up the dirty electricity on the wiring, and it also then can penetrate into any appliance that's plugged into it. For example, a refrigerator or something like that. Now, the more of these devices you have, the cleaner the space feels. And so you start off with the house, because all day long you're in an office or you're outside there's power lines up and down the roads. You're on your cell phone, and then you go into the house, and now you have, let's say you're going to sleep in the house for 8 hours. You're going to be in the house for 10 hours before you go back to work, for example, or 12 hours, I should say. You need that time to repair your DNA from being outside. So your house should be the cleanest place. Your bedroom should be the cleanest space. And then if you have a laptop, you put a little sticker on your laptop. That's called the Smart Patch. So the Smart Patch goes by the battery of your phone, the battery of your laptop, where your laptop gets plugged in. This can go on any device that's small, any kind of appliance or electronic device. So the more of these devices you use, the cleaner the space. So we can sell these devices to anybody. You don't have to be a patient. You can go to our website, and we do ask that you give us your email address first. But you can also go to safespaceprotection.com. You can buy from them. Our prices are the same. I hope this information is helpful for you. I hope you appreciate it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, share, and subscribe.